I'm going to show you a new feature we added in today for some of our larger customers who may be managing multi-user subscriptions and want to view the activity of the users of those particular subscriptions. So for example, if I take my own account, I have a subscription to the national manufacturers. And with that, I have 12 seats. And of course, if I click on Manage, that brings up a list of all the individuals that have assigned either as a user or as an administrator of this particular database subscription. And all 12 user seats are in use at this point. So let's say that I want to view activity. Let's, for example, say I'm a sales manager and I want to see what my salespeople are up to. So we've enabled this new feature now that we can turn on through the admin that'll allow me as the customer to be able to do that. So I pull up my account, and this is something that you will do on behalf of the customer if you decide to enable this feature. And you'll notice a new section down here titled Account Options, and underneath it, User Activity Reports. By default, this is disabled for every user. When you enable it, you'll notice now for the customer that a new link appears when they go to manage their subscription. So I go back to my national manufacturers, click on Manage, and now I have a new link that appears up here near the top titled View User Activity. And when I click on that, what I'm going to get is a list of all the users for this particular subscription and all of their recent activity. So it defaults to all the activity within the past 12 months, but I can change this date range to anything that I'd like. So let's say, for example, that I would like to see all the activity since the 1st of February of this year. Now what I have here is all the activity of each individual user on their account since February 1st. So for example, I can scroll down to Katie, and I can see that she last logged in on February 26th at 2:28 p.m. I've got total stats here, her number of saved lists, saved companies, contacts, notes, etc. But I can also see that since the 1st of February, she has logged in 49 times, which is an average of almost 14 times a week. And she's exported 59 records and printed 1,226 labels. So again, as a sales manager, if this was my own account and I was trying to monitor my salespeople, this would be a great tool to be able to see who's using IndustrySelect, how often they're using it, what they're using it for. Are they printing reports? Are they exporting records? If I was wanting to provide the resource to somebody else at my company, I could use this as a tool to say, okay, who's not using the subscription? I'll go ahead and reassign that to somebody else. Or from a management perspective, I might look at it and say, okay, who's really in here on a daily basis working versus somebody that's maybe an underperformer. So there's a number of different uses that this feature is valuable for. But again, it's something that we only want to turn on a case-by-case basis. And really the reasoning behind that is just because we are showing the administrator the total activity for each user's account. So in other words, the activity is not just specific to this particular subscription. We don't know specifically what each user does in each individual subscription. We only know total account activity. So we're actually giving the administrator quite a bit of information on each individual user to say, here's the total activity on their report. So we really want to use this this feature selectively and only give it to our best customers, and maybe even just those customers who are constantly asking us on a regular basis for activity on particular users. Maybe this is a feature that we can turn on for them. It's also a feature that potentially we could use as an upsell opportunity. So if somebody's on the fence about adding a certain number of additional users, perhaps this is something that we can use as a throw-in to get them to make the jump to that next block of users. So for example, if they're looking at 7 additional users, it might be something where you can say, hey, if you want to upgrade to 10 additional user seats, we can turn on employee activity reporting for you as an additional feature, as a bonus throw-in. So a number of different ways that we can use it, but it is a bit resource intensive to be able to run all these stats, especially on larger subscriptions that have a large number of additional users. So it's not something that we just want to turn on automatically for every customer. It is something that we want to look at on a case-by-case basis and decide, is there value here for the customer, and is there value here for us to enable this feature. Feel free to take a look at it, and if you have any questions, let me know.